Hey, it's 2025. Happy New Year to my believing friends. And this year, let us study to understand God more, to know Him better. To my atheist and deconstructionist friends, as my sweet little granddaughter would say, whatever. Let me start with this, and I wrote it so I'll get it right, and we'll end with it also. We can do good without being good, but we can't be good without doing good. Let's talk about it. I'm going to begin by saying people are basically not good. Atheists who say, oh, I can be good without God. Psalm 14:1 says, fools say in their heart, there is no God. And then, speaking of those fools, they are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. And we all know Romans 3:23. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And the verse toward the end of Galatians 2 is a really strong one to me. If righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. In other words, if it were possible for us to be good, why did Jesus do what he did? Now that'll prompt a whole bunch of atheist and deconstructionist trolls to make comment on this post. Please hold off. Give me a chance to finish. Many in the past have claimed that more evil was done in the name of religion than for any other reason, and that is pointing specifically, I know, to Christianity. To that I would respond, yes, if atheism is a religion, because then we could include Stalin and Pol Pot and Chairman Mao for all the millions that they eliminated in the name of atheism. And yes, ISIS is operating on the basis of that religion. You may not like that thought, but it's just simple truth. But Christians have done terrible things, I hear you say. Yes, Christians have done terrible things in spite of Christianity, not because of Christianity. When Jesus was asked what the greatest laws are for those who believe in the one true God, he said, love the Lord your God with all your soul and with all your heart and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Atrocious acts by Christians are not consistent with God's will. It actually is more proof that we, people, all of us, are basically evil. I hear an argument from atheists that we don't need God to be good. I think we should look at that thought a little more carefully. I would say that we don't even know what good is without God. One person here who I honestly think is a nice person and should be respected, but this person has deconstructed and has become an atheist and says that she can be good without God.
One of the things we have as humans generally is empathy, and we understand using our logic and reason how our actions have negative consequences. Even if, let's say, I was a person with no empathy, I could still reason that if I treat everyone in my life poorly, I'm not going to have any friends.
You want to be good so that people will like you, so that you will have friends. I would suggest that that's not necessarily being good. What is good on the surface is motivated by selfishness, by wanting something for yourself. I once had the privilege of listening to a lecture by Regina Taylor. She is an actress, an award-winning playwright, and was the first black woman to play Juliet on Broadway. She was giving advice to theater students, and one of them, she said, is be kind to everyone. The reason was you don't know who you're going to need down the road. I do agree that this is just good practice, but that's all just being wise, and it's based in selfish motives. It's based in self-preservation. We make most of our decisions for selfish reasons. Self-sacrifice does exist, but what I'm saying is, in a vacuum, our tendency is to make decisions based on our well-being. I'll even go beyond that. We need a police force. We need a police force because we don't follow laws. Our tendency is to do what we want to do. I lived in Pensacola for 13 years, and I will tell you the driving in Pensacola is atrocious. And you would say, oh, but there are old people that live in Pensacola. Yes, but what I saw of the atrocious driving was not old people. It was relatively young people, in fact. I witnessed 4 auto wrecks. That is, I watched them happen. And here's the thing about Pensacola. The police have said publicly that they do not manage traffic. They leave that for the state police. They will deal with more serious crime. And there aren't enough state police to really manage traffic the way it needs to be managed. So people know that. They know the odds of their getting caught for doing something really bizarre on the road is slim. Now that part is my observation, that people by their nature are not good. People by their nature want to do what they want to do regardless of other people. We do good because it has good benefits for us personally. And that does not fall under the category of being good according to God's word. Just a quick reference in Philippians 2. Do nothing out of selfish ambition, but considering others better than yourselves. And to those who think they can be good without God, I would say, ask yourselves honestly, what is the motivation for being what you would define as good? There's really no way we can be good or even know good without some external definition of goodness. One quick example: is pro-choice good or is it not? There are large number of women that would say, yes, pro-choice is good. There are more than 60 million babies in the United States alone who would say, not so good. And the ugly truth of the whole thing is there are would-be mothers who look back on that and say, that was not good. So how do we know even what is good and who decides what is good? And to God, it isn't even the external goodness that he pays attention to. It's the intention. It's why are we being good? There's that observation back in Samuel. Man looks on the outward appearance, but God looks on the heart. God asks why. There's that difficult passage in James chapter 2 talking about works. If you are good, that is, if you do have the Spirit of Christ in you, there will be results from it. There may be results without the Spirit of Christ, but there will not be no results without the Spirit of Christ. Let me rephrase that. And I wrote it so I would get it right. We can do good without being good. We can't be good without doing good. We can do good without being good, but we can't be good without doing good.